This is the seventh in a short series of presentations to assist paraglider and hang glider pilots who are studying for their BHPA pilot rating exams. This series is on Airlaw. This section is about aerodrome traffic zones. In our regular cross-country flying, we need to know more about air traffic zones, or ATZs, than anything else. Our perfect route often looks as though we will need to navigate past or over an air traffic zone, so we need to know something about their dimensions and preferably have a plan in place before we take off. An air traffic zone is a low cylinder surrounding most active aerodromes in the UK. The dimensions are always measured from the ground elevation at the centre of the airstrip. The ATZ cylinder extends to 2,000 feet above the surface of the airfield, and the radius of the cylinder is either 2 nautical miles or 2.5 nautical miles. This radius is dependent on whether the runway is less than 1850 metres or more than 1850 metres. A bigger runway means bigger planes, and this means a bigger space requirement around the airfield. The military ATZ cylinder, or MATS, is bigger. It wraps itself around the ATZ, which still exists inside the military air traffic zone. The MATS wrapper extends to 3,000 feet above the surface of the airfield, and the radius is a whopping 5 nautical miles. A military ATZ also has an extension to the cylinder which is known as the panhandle, or stub. This is to extend the approach. They sometimes have one poking out the opposite direction as well. The panhandle or stub starts at 1,000 feet above the ground, and it is 4 nautical miles wide and 5 nautical miles long. You need to remember those dimensions. Here is a summary table of the various dimensions. They can be a pretty big obstacle for any cross-country flight. However, it is only the ATZ in which we're not allowed to enter. We are actually allowed to enter the MATZ, the MATS, that surrounds the ATZ. However, you need to be very careful and think about the likelihood of disrupting military traffic. The image on the right here illustrates the dimension of the MATZ that lies to the north of the Wrekin in Shropshire. You can just about make out the orange-coloured ATZ within the MATS. So this is a plan view of the same MATS on an XC planning tool and illustrates the large panhandle stretching south past Shrewsbury. You can also see the slightly darker ATZ that lies within the MATS. These are two aerodrome traffic zones near the A1 in North Yorkshire. They are RAF airfields and have the very large and active MATZs around them shown in yellow. The pink airspace to the north serves Teesside Airport. All this airspace can be visualised and assessed in the flight planning phase using some of the excellent flight planning tools that are available for desktop and for mobile phones. These are two examples. These tools allow the user to select areas of airspace and to see the various flight elevations concerned. In this case, the Class D airspace that we might encounter between Worcester and Evesham has a floor at flight level 65 or 6,500 feet. So that concludes this section on the ATZ and MATZ MATS.